Hello, friends, colleagues, students, and programming and JavaScript learners. This is Dr. Satish Singhal, PhD, at professor at Computer Information Technology Department, Rhodes State College, Midwest City, near Oklahoma City in Oklahoma. I'm here with the part 3 of Intro to Loop using JavaScript, and this time we're going to talk about flag control loop. Okay, in flag control loops, they are very useful. You can use them in any situation whatsoever. But basically, a Boolean flag, which could be either true or false, is used to control the loop. And in loop, test or pretest, the flag is checked for either true or false value. And the typical example in JavaScript would be something like that I set var done to false, and then check for not done. Since false was the value here, not false will be true, because negation operator turns true to false, false to true. And then as long as the flag value is not changed from false, I will do the loop task, look for the update. If update still keeps the flag to be false, I'll keep doing the loop again and again. Now the word done is actually very good here, because when I set it to false, not done has a very nice play on words, that while I'm not done, while I'm not finished, keep doing this. And this technique, this word has been chosen by Professor Nell Dale, professor of computer science at University of Texas, Austin. So I got it from her, and I thank her very much. So having the word done for variable is very good here, because while I'm not done, while I'm not finished, keep doing this, because done was set to false. Okay, so flag control loop is a good alternative when data are entered from the keyboard and a good sentinel value is not available. I'm not saying sentinel value is never available. Well, you could always find a sentinel value in every case, but it may not be a good value. So flag control loop is very useful in those cases. Here is one of those cases. Imagine that you are averaging net profit for a business over a period of certain number of months. And imagine that number of months may vary from one program to another. Well, in that case, if there is a variable profit recording the profit, no profit or loss, well, it could be greater than 0, in which case the company made money, in which case there would be a real profit. Or it could be 0, that means neither there was a profit nor there was a loss. Or profit variable could be negative, in which case there was a loss. Okay? So since the profit or loss could have all three values, greater than 0, equal to 0, or less than 0, there's not a good sentinel value available in this case to average the profit or loss over a certain period of month. So in that case, we use flag control loop. That's our only alternative, and a good alternative. All right, so we're going to show the flowchart for this program. And the flowchart is this. And I'm going to get my pen here. Looks like my mouse all of a sudden stopped working. So let's see. So right click. Oops, right click didn't work. So okay. So I just need to go over here. Sorry. All right, so we have a couple of variables here. Start. I set count to 0 because I need to count how many months I'm averaging over. I have sum equal to 0 because I need to sum up profit and loss. And the Boolean variable done is set to false. And that's the loop control variable. So at the entry point of the loop, I check not done. Since false was set the value of the done, not false will be true. So no matter what, in this case, I will be entering the loop, okay? Because I force the flag value to be false, not false will be true, so I'll enter the loop. And then I'll read the profit. I'll prompt them to enter the profit, and I will read that. And then I will sum the profit up into some variable. So the very first time, sum will contain the value entered here, okay? And since I got one value for a month, I increase my month counter by 1. And then I update a variable called more input. I ask them, do you have more input? If they say yes, if that is true, then I don't do anything. And I go back to the loop entry point. And notice that done was set false here. And if they say they have more input, then value of done remains false and not done will be still true. So basically I will be in this loop here as long as they say they have more data and as long as they keep providing the value of the profit variable in that loop, okay? So only time I'll exit the loop will be, I'll ask if they have more input and they don't answer yes, they answered no, and then false branch of this if statement will be executed, and I set done to true. And then when I go back here for testing purpose, not true will be false, so I exit the loop and I get the average profit, which is sum divided by count, and then I print the average profit in the end. So notice this loop also has the 4 things that we have mentioned about loop again and again, that we do a initialization of the loop condition, pre-test of the loop condition, then we do a whole bunch of loop tasks, and then we update the loop condition. And in this case, when loop condition is updated to true, not true will be false, and we exit the loop. Same thing is shown in the pseudocode on the next slide. This is the pseudocode. So I set my count to 0, sum to 0, done to false, while not done. Ignore this do here. While not done, read profit, sum equal to sum plus profit. I increase my counter by 1 because I got one value of the profit, and then I read a variable called more input. If more input yes means they have more data, then I do nothing really. There is a null task here. Otherwise I set done to true, and true, not true will be false, so I'll exit the loop. So once again this loop will continue on until this else block is not executed here, okay? It only exists when else block is executed, and this should be end while, and then I get the average profit equal to sum divided by count, and I print or write the average profit. Okay, so now I want to show you the JavaScript code for this. So for JavaScript code, we go to HTML file that has the JavaScript code, and that is this file here, and I do open with, okay, I have to be a little quick here. Okay. Okay, here's my file, the JavaScript file. So same thing as we showed in the pseudocode. I set a var sum to 0, count to 0, boolean variable done to false, and I have 3 more variables here: the profit, the more input. Profit is to read 1 month's profit or loss, or no profit or no loss, and the average profit. And then BR is our line break, which we always have in JavaScript. Okay, so done was set to false here. I check while not done. Since done was false, not done will be true. So in this case, I'll enter the loop no matter what. So in JavaScript, here's the initialization, and here's the pretest. Okay, and I prompt the user for profit and use window.prompt, which is prompt, the same thing as prompt. And I tell them that they can enter profit or loss. Loss must be negative, profit should be positive, and if there's no profit or loss, they enter 0. And here I've done input and conversion to numeric in 2 steps. Typically we have been multiplying by 1.0 here, but here I've done it 2 steps. In the past I used to do that. So this is the conversion to numeric from string, because over here profit will be string, now it's numeric. So then I add to the sum variable the profit, which was 0, and in next iteration it will get the next value of the profit. And since I got 1, I count 1. And then here's the update process. I asked, do you have more data? And type yes to continue or no to exit. Okay, so and here I convert this to uppercase. So whatever string they enter, yes or no, I convert to uppercase. And if more input was equal 3 times no, that means they don't have any more data, and I set done to true. And in that case, not true will be false, and I'll exit the loop. So one more time, this loop will keep going until they enter no, and this executes. And as long as it keeps going, each time it will end the profit or loss for that month to the sum variable and increase number of counts by 1. So by the time this loop is finished, we'll have sum of profit or loss for as many months as number of counts I have here. Okay. Now to avoid division by 0, generally we don't do division until we make sure the denominator is not 0. So if count was not 0, then I get the average profit, which is sum divided by count, and then I print average profit to the web page. Alright, so I'm going to demo this program now by invoking this through a web page. So well, we can just open it, I suppose. There you go. So they're asking me to enter the profit or loss. Loss must be negative. So I'm just going to take some simple values. Let's say 2000. And more data, yes to continue. Type yes. And let's say 3000, still profit. Yes. So okay, and let's say we had a loss of 500. Okay, still yes. And another profit of 2000. Sorry. Okay, and I say, this time I say no. So average profit 1625, end of program. Now, of course, this time I didn't print all the values. I could do that. You could add that output string technique that I showed in the previous video, and they'll print out all the values and sum, and you have a lot of things that you can do. But we could get the average profit or loss if there were losses in each month using this technique. So I demonstrated one simple flag control loop. We'll use this in future videos, and then we'll review this one more time again. All right. So thank you for watching. This is Dr. Satish Singhal, PhD, and I'll see you in the next video very shortly where we are going to show how to do JavaScript program, or we are going to show how to do nested loops in JavaScript program. Thank you for watching.